unexpected, actually, because I have a new iPad that I'm streaming today from, and I'm checking all my settings because the new iPad that I bought yesterday, and finally I bought new iPhone. But you know what? The connections, they're all new also, and all my mic settings and everything, they are no longer fitting. So it means that I will need to buy new paraphernalia for the streams, and I will need to get everything new. And I have one person is here. Meanwhile, I'm talking to myself, and I hope that you can hear us. And on Pepas, I'm going to bring it even lower and see if you can see Don Pepas. Don Pepas is over there. So here we are, just the two of us. And please don't forget to stop to put likes because it will just give the YouTube views and we will get attract more people. So anyway, Don Pepas and I, we are welcoming everyone to the stream. I have two people already. That's good. I hope that it's not myself and Don Pepas. And what is it today? So we'll wait for a little bit longer that people would join us, because I told you that I was going to be live at noon, but it's 2 minutes to noon, 1 minute. And I'm trying to catch Don Pepas, and he's just being back and forth between it's sunny, it's his favorite spot over there. And I need, if somebody could just let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, if you guys just with me. And welcome to live chat. And yes, remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. And that's what it is. So Don Pepas is over there. He is just changing his location, and I'm trying to adjust the height of my stick so it would show myself and Don Pepas. And we are waiting a little bit longer, and then I'll start talking, because today it's a wonderful season in California here, that when we start the day it's gloomy and dark and foggy, and it's about 43, 45 degrees, and then the sun comes up and we have this lovely weather outside, sunshine, and it gets to 70, 72, so that we have such a wide difference in the temperatures. And okay, and and that's what is very interesting about California. I have Marie Rico. Машенька, здравствуйте, здорово, как что вы смотрите. Thank you so much for joining. And so far, I think you're the only person. And thank you for saying hello. And I hope that more people will join us. And so Don Pepas is over there. And what I have with you today, my new streaming device, is the new iPad. I decided to buy it yesterday because the battery on the old one, I mean, the old one is cool, everything is good, but the battery life, I barely can stream 1 hour on that one. And since I'm used to having larger picture to see myself in front of everyone, and it's not better camera, but it's better vanity point that I see myself, I see bigger picture, and so kind of like iPod streams. So I have 4 people already, and we are live. Hello everyone, again I welcome everyone to the stream. This is Don Pepas, this is Lillian, and we're here. It's the last day of autumn, and I know that everyone is going to scream at me saying, what are you talking about, last day of autumn? The last day of autumn is December 20th, because the winter starts, astrological winter starts 20th of December, 22nd of December. But again, culturally, you know where I'm coming from. I'm Russian, and in Russia all the seasons start according to the calendar. So the 1st of December is the first day of winter, and the 30th of November is the last day of fall. And those of you who watched Sasha and Masha earlier today, I didn't, but they named their stream the last day of fall as well. Apparently you don't have to have lots of imagination to name this stream, because it is the last day of fall, the 30th of November. And I have Jennifer Russell, hello. And yes, if you ever want sunshine, I know, Marie, come to Florida. Florida is always waiting for you, and warm temperatures, though they can have a little bit like cold spells from time to time, and those brave iguanas, they fall down from the trees. Okay, so again, the season we started, and I love this season. And I had Thanksgiving dinner. I have a couple of people coming over. It's a colleague from my work with his wife and his father, and for that I cooked dinner. And Marie, who is here, she knows those dinners, because once upon a time, it's already 2 years ago, 3 years ago, she was my guest, and we had a wonderful time, Marie and her daughter. So what about Christmas trees? So those of you who have already Christmas trees in your houses, that's so cool. We have this store in town. It's not in Salinas where I live, but in Monterey. Pepachka. Yeah, I'm talking. Say hello to everyone. And you know that I started this tradition going to that store, and they have those little trees that I usually put on my desk, on the table, dinner table over there. And Jennifer said that she went to her sister's house for Thanksgiving. So I bought this tree, and I want to introduce you to this tree. And since I don't feel very good this year, most likely this tree is going to be here and without any ornaments. But look at this. This is my tree, and I really like it. It's kind of sits here, and it's sunny, and it's cold at night. And I think it's going to be feeling like it's in the winter time in the woods, and it doesn't need to go anywhere. And I was thinking maybe part of the stream I can be outdoors, because it's lovely weather. It's so nice, and I'll sit here and talk with you. So beautiful tree. I love my tree. So do we have more people? I have 4 people, and I probably will need to go to get my phone at least so I could see the chat. Well, maybe I'll do without chat for now, and then I'll go back to the place where I originally planned to have my stream. So what to tell you? Why did I want you to, well, because it's been a while since we had the stream. Last stream was so cool. We cooked, and I promoted the stream on YouTube, and I got quite a few views on that. No many comments, but however, I thought that it was very good when we cooked together. Today I didn't plan on cooking, because apparently when I was cooking that big dinner for my guests, I still pretended I'm healthy, but unfortunately that health issue that I have, it takes its toll on me. And yeah, probably this lighting is better. Light is better. So, and by the end of that cooking, because what I cooked, okay, so I did my normal stew, and it's beef stew with potatoes in the oven, and then I did some cutlets, my signature cutlets, and then I did few salads. And by the time when the guests arrived at 3 p.m., I was already tired. And then they spent about 3 hours with me, and we had a lovely time. And it was first time in my life when the guests said, it's probably for us a time to go. And I honestly said, you know, I wish I could say stay a while longer, but I'm not going to say that because I am tired. And the following day, after that dinner, I had to go to. I found a functional doctor, and I told you that I was looking for a functional doctor, the one who is looking at your body as the whole system and not like, okay, with your thyroid or your heart or your liver or whatever, as the system. And that doctor is located 90 miles away from where I live. 90 miles, it's we have greater Silicon Valley and San Jose being its heart, and then San Francisco across the bridge, and then all the other cities around San Jose, and it's Sunnyvale, Milpitas, Santa Clara, all these cities in the greater San Jose area. So the city of Sunnyvale, it's about 80 miles drive. So I went to the doctor. Our appointment was 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours. It was undivided attention. We talked about everything because what she is good at, this doctor, trying to pinpoint the reason why my body decided all of a sudden go out of whack, and expressing this out of wackiness through my thyroid. And that was quite an eye-opening experience, especially her intake form. It's like, I don't know, 50 pages. It took me forever to fill out, and plus I had all the labs. And it's interesting that I read a lot ever since I found my wonderful condition, that it's due to stress and due to some inner conflicts sometimes that your body kind of kept accumulating, never addressing properly, and just going around life the way how it is. And I don't know what type of scanner was that. Is that charlatan, or is that a real medicine, or they scan, or they make you believe, or whatever. But that scanner shows that my first and foremost emotion is grief. And I said, and I was thinking about it for quite some time, that yeah, so I am grieving. What am I grieving most and foremost? Well, I think myself, thinking back, that everything, the post fact, that my life, how it turned out to be, it's the major event that shaped the second part of my life. It was the fall of the Soviet Union. And it's so interesting that you may say, like, look at her, she's sitting here in California on this lovely day, and she's lamenting or saying something like that, that huge geopolitical event shaped her personal life. And in retrospect, I think that's what it is, because that event caused such a tremendous change for so many people, and myself included. So, and she says that yes, it's the grief, and then of course death of my parents, and coming to a different country and living on your own in a different country and building your life here on your own, bearing the heaviness of the life things that are coming here. I think that's also kind of contributed to everything. So, and the main thing is that, of course, she is a homeopathic doctor, and the homeopathy, however you want to call it, I'm skeptical about it, though, since I have nothing to lose on top of my synthetic hormone, I've decided why not, I'm going to try it. But also, you know that all the doctors now, all these YouTube doctors, saying that how chemistry is bad for us, that and the metals are bad for us. And she said, you know how much I love jewelry. And she said, you have to stop wearing jewelry, and you have to stop wearing your iWatch, and you have to stop doing this, and it's going to be even better if you disconnect your Wi-Fi for the night, or do the internet at home, and it's going to be even better. So I don't know whether I'm going to go that far, but you see, naked hands, naked ears, naked, and I do feel like I'm naked because normally I wear lots and lots of jewelry, and I took off my iWatch. Apple Watch yesterday, actually 2 days already without the Apple Watch, and it's weird because that watch was making me to keep track of all my movements, of how many hours I am up and how many steps I'm taking. And she said that the main measurement is the way how you feel, and and I know that by the end of that cooking day on Thursday, I felt dead. And my iWatch was saying that I made 11,000 steps just in my kitchen and around, and moving and cleaning the house, getting ready the house to receive guests. So, and yeah, I was tired. And then the main thing is that apparently all my muscles, they are so inflamed at this point. And I was thinking, what is this? And this is the main symptom of my thyroid Hashimoto / Graves, that the muscles, they don't support you on the cellular level. And I said, but look at me, I'm so active, I can do bending and push-ups. And she said, no, don't do that, you're going to break your muscles, without even knowing that. So she kind of slowed me down, and here I am trying to accept the reality, new reality. So you will need to buy new detergent, you need to go without makeup, and you need to go without any, well, cooking. I just purchased a beef tallow, and I'm doing that cooking and with beef tallow. Say goodbye to my avocado oil, and instead of the creams, she said, try beef tallow on your face as well. So today is my beef tallow day. So people who come around, if I smell like a weird person, then that you know why. Okay, that is my report, my health report and update. Then the channel update. You probably, I don't know, if you're watching me and you've been with me for quite some time, you have noticed that I had gained 1,000 subscribers in 1 week, and that was very interesting. Why was it interesting? Because I decided to invest some money into promoting certain videos on YouTube. And by promoting that, you pay $10 over the period of time of 2 weeks, and then YouTube is showing more often those videos. And I promoted that my Soviet life video, my Soviet life, the life in the Soviet Union, and the Ivan the Terrible, Ivan the Strict or Formidable, those videos. So some historic videos, a little bit about the channel, and people started coming. And then the promotion money are over because I was doing 2 weeks only promotion, and the intake of people is over. So I started promoting yesterday my Matryoshka doll video, and people also started coming to the channel. So I was thinking, okay, so overall, yes, since the channel is rather old in the eyes of the YouTube, the algorithm just doesn't pick it up. And besides that, I have such a variety of topics on my channel, YouTube just doesn't know who to show my videos. So that was a long intro toward those of you who just joined my channel. And if you're watching by any chance, I welcome you all to the channel. Thank you for your subscription. Thank you for watching, and thank you for giving the kind of second life to my channel. But on the same token, at the same time, and since this old channel is not going to get any better or anything, what I've got an advice from the YouTube people saying that if you want to get somewhere else with your channel, start totally new channel. And I know I've been talking with you about this, saying that Conversations with Lillian probably is going to be that channel. And I just need to take a deep breath and see how I feel, because if before, when I started building this channel and I was posting every day and I was doing it after work, now after work I think I'm no good. And so yeah, and also I was thinking in Conversations with Lillian going to focus more on the historical events and the history between the United States and Russia, and about good project that the countries did together and how it was back then, and what could be it again, and then it can be again. And then I was thinking, I don't know, that's still not such a wide audience, and so it even works. Maybe I'll start listen. Here's my 4 channel. They never work. Do look at me and never do this whatever I did. So my title going to be my first my 4 YouTube channels fail. Watch me and never do like I do. Something like that. Don Pepas and I were thinking about what we're going to be doing. Okay, so let's move in, because then I'll get to your questions and it will tell me that we have a conversation. Like now I am saying things that that I wanted to share with you, and I think I am done with all the updates. This is my Christmas tree. Don't you like it? I love it. And actually I love my lights on my, this is my courtyard. It's so interesting. So this is the entry door from the see this, the parking lot and everything. So that's how people enter here. And this is my courtyard, and it's open sky. It's not the room, it's a wonderful yard. And then we enter to my house, and Don Pepas is going to welcome us. Pupusa, Pupusa. Okay, Pupusa is there. You see his ears. And let's go to the place where I wanted to greet you today. Not at the piano. Here I like this space, and we have my roses. So yeah, getting back to the Christmas tree, it's supposed to be here where the roses are, but then you know what fun it is to put together a Christmas tree, and what an awful chore is to undo your Christmas tree. And since I don't have that much energy, I'm not sure whether I want that Christmas tree. Even so, you know, I have also an artificial tree that goes on the piano in the middle of my living room, and I don't know, I'm debating, like, do I need to bring the tree to get it out of the garage? Maybe just no tree, and this tree is going to be outside in its natural environment and be very happy, because it's a nice courtyard area. And I guess let maybe see it over there. And I have, where is my life? And here we are. And let me see what you guys saying and how many of us. Okay, where is my live chat? Okay, open panel. 7 people watching. And I don't see the panel. It's so bizarre. I'm going to like it. Don't see any chat. Very interesting. I'll check another device. Okay, where is my... Mhm. Yeah, wow, we have so many people and people are chatting. So, Jennifer Russell is here, Marie is here, Jennifer Russell, and I have Nikita. Nikita, you're awake. Thank you so much for being here. And I have Eric Healthy. Thank you so much, Eric, for being here. Say hello to your sister and to your wonderful Kitty. And you get so lucky, says Marie, that eating all delicious food. Meanwhile, I realize Thanksgiving cooking is a team sport, and since my team is tiny, next year I am making a reservation, not a turkey. And you know, I also was thinking that maybe I should do the catering from the Italian place. But then again, following this new healthy protocol. See, I always was laughing at people, not laughing, but not taken serious, and still not that gluten free. And of course, nowadays doctors saying it should be gluten free, it should be gluten free, it shouldn't be. And the gluten free, I was not making fun, but saying that you know how easy we can find all these culprits and saying, oh, it's because of gluten. And then we completely forget that like 100 years ago, even 70 years ago, I'm not saying 50 because 50 it's a 90, it will take us only 90, 80, and it's already been, I mean, the bread that we are making here, the wheat's been modified and they just modify the grain itself. And of course, it's a different type of bread that we are eating, and that's why everything that we are eating are so it's so different. And you go to the store and you can find, I mean, nothing natural. You can find. I go to the store and I cannot find normal buttermilk. It's all either reduced fat or 1% fat. You can't even find 2% fat. Like, I am literally losing my patience going around and trying to find the buttermilk that I want, because I found this raw milk store and I found this raw heavy whipped cream. And because I wanted to make my own creme fraiche, and for creme fraiche you need this natural um, cream, and then you add some buttermilk into it as the culture, probiotic culture. I couldn't find the normal. I mean, I went to 3 stores in the area which supposedly to be health inclined. I couldn't find 1% buttermilk or low fat. All the yogurts are low fat, and it's already been agreed with the doctors, even mainstream doctors, saying that low fat it's bad. Everything the processed it's bad because you can't have the like milk from under the cow. It's not low fat; it's just normal fat. It's a normal milk, and the normal milk was made into evil in the mid 20th century in this country, and saying that oh, milk is bad. And then they started pulling out lactose, they were started processing and doing it pasteurized, and they were making us doing all kind of wonderful, I mean, what's the point of having milk without lactose? The whole point of milk is to lactate a baby. We are mammals. We are lactating our babies, and um, and that's why we're all walking sick people, because all this that used to be deemed to be natural and now it's unnatural, and we cannot. So the composition of our bodies changed, and the acceptance of real food is totally different. But you see where it takes me. It's always it's not longer conspiracy. It's no longer conspiracy theory, but it's my my thing that I came up to. I mean, I'm thinking, I'm seeing what's going on, and when you're looking for regular food, like, remember how for how long butter used to be a vilified also product. It's horrible. Or eggs were named a guilty party in high cholesterol and all these things, but the egg is the most perfect natural source of protein, and it's and again, it's the chicken that is being caged, now you cage free or whatever. It's I don't know. When you start thinking like you cannot find anything to put inside yourself to keep yourself healthy. And why was I doing this? Yeah, because again, this doctor is saying that you need to find so um, cook with beef tallow and eat all this one natural products and organic. And even organic, you can everything is polluted and I know for sure. I mean, I heard the conversation. I live in the farmer community here, and the farmers saying that they are organic and non-organic. Technically, they grow on the neighboring fields, and whatever the soil waters and everything that goes, that the organic supposedly is going to get that too. So yes, Marie, Masha, I was reading your comment, and yes, yeah, cooking Thanksgiving meal requires family, and that's why when you have a big friendly family, when you don't fight, when your relatives come and you don't like them, of course then it's not going to be fun. But it's when the family gets together and cooking, and that is very good. Linda, hello, and Sherry and Lily, hello, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. And I have Joel here, so wonderful to see you all. And Jennifer is here, and Marie saying, every hard season you have lived through. Yeah, thank you so much, Marie. Машенька, спасибо большое. And yeah, so yeah, I shared everything with you guys. And yeah, the Christmas tree I think looks very cool outside, and then it's so good that I won't need be cleaning the fallen needles, because it's hard to make the place look good again. So you should bring it home. I don't know. Yeah, I do have fake Christmas tree as well. And Jay is here. Hello, you made it. I'm so glad that you made it. And okay, so I think I've uh, caught up with all the comments. What else I wanted to say? Oh yeah, so the shutdown was over. I think this was the hardest shutdown ever, and I don't know. Though I swear that this channel is not political, and I try to comprehend how is it possible just to close the government, and how come no other country in the world doing that, and why the United States is the greatest and the strongest country in the world can afford to do things like that. So I I'm think it makes you think. You see, it's kind of makes you think. But thank God we are out of that. I don't know for how much longer, because then the December 25th, so the next fiscal period is going to come, and it will be all the same. And literally the vote to end the shutdown, I watched it live, and it was you know, you watch suspense movies, and this was as suspenseful as any movie, because it was my livelihood involved, and I was really watching. And the the Senate actually, they got divided almost 50-50, and everyone who was taking the floor saying the things against or for that, and they were very polar. They didn't have any agreement on that. But also one can see that it has nothing to do with the official functioning of the government. It just was disagreements between these two polar sections of our country and the division of the country, and and they kept that suspense all the way to the end, to the final. It was 15-minute vote, and it was just head to head. They were so even, and also only at the end the Republicans, or the votes to close the shutdown, to open the government, to end the shutdown, um, 15 votes, 15 voices. They got 15 votes more than those who were opposing that decision. And that was kind of, I don't know, very, it makes you think again, makes you think. And, oh, okay, so Jay is saying he is 50 hours into fast right now. I Fasting, it's another interesting thing. Of course, I went through all of that, and the year before in 2023 I was doing alternate day fasting, when you do 36-hour fast and then 12-hour eating. So technically you eat every other day, and that was very, it worked like a charm. I lost like 40 pounds, and I looked very good, and I was so cool because I wanted to come back to work. And so no one would meet me and say, wow, Lillian, we hadn't seen you in 2 years, what happened to you? And I wanted everyone to see me and say, hey Lillian, you look so wonderful. Apparently staying away from work agrees with people. And I got that objective. I met that objective, and I continued on alternate day fasting, and sometimes it could go into 40 hours, 42 hours, 43 hours if you eat only one time, one meal a day when you open for eating. And I went deeply into fasting. I did the research, and I watched all the YouTube doctors who saying like, oh, they're going to be, and first of all you're going to get autophagy, and then the bad cells going to be eaten by the good cells, that autophagy, and then at the 36th hour you start growing the stem cells, and those stem cells, they're so smart that they're going to attach themselves to the sick cells, and they're going to just really attack, and only good things going to come out of fasting. and and fasting was working for me back then, until I fell apart with my thyroid. And thyroid is our metabolic control center, and it's everything. And actually, and since I gained lots of weight and the alternate day fasting was working for me, I decided to first first of all, no one was able to answer my question in all those communities, whether you can fast when you have thyroid, when you have hypothyroidism, when you have hyper, and when you have the Hashimoto's, because it's not only because you have thyroid, but you also got the autoimmune thing. And apparently, I found it hard way when I went 48 hours into fasting, and I almost had a thyroid storm. Technically, I almost killed myself. And then the doctor said, no, you have to stop fasting, because right now your organism, everything is being extra stress. Thyroid is treated as the existential threat to your body, and goes into the adverse reaction. And that's why first you have to nourish your uh, body, nourish your thyroid, and then you will think. So once you fix that, once you put together that your hormonal stuff back to normal, only then you can start thinking about losing weight. But most likely, when you repair metabolism and metabolic system and everything, then you will start losing weight, because most of that is inflammation and water retention. And that's why it feels so weird, because it doesn't feel like it's fat. It feels like it's totally different substance, different matter that attached to my body by itself, and it's a weird feeling. It's really weird feeling. And yeah, so Jay, why did you start fasting? Tell me. That's probably not good for you, Jay, unless it's for medical procedure. I'm doing it for stem cell, you see, stem cell production. Yes. Again, when you also have autoimmune condition, Jeff, and that's what Jay, and you need to consult a doctor, because us people with autoimmune things, the our immune system is being vulnerable, and it's not working the way it's supposed to be, because it is attacking our body, saying that the alien came in, so we have to attack because we need to save ourselves, and we have to save for life, and we do, and then you say, no, I'm going to punish you, I'm not going to feed you. And technically it's good when you don't feed your inflammatory cells when you're healthy, and your inflamed cells, they have nothing to eat, and they kind of, and then the healthy cells attack it, and that's how it works, because autophagy, that's how it works. And then with the autophagy, you stay a little bit longer, 36, 48 hours. 72 hours is the best, actually. At 72, first of all, you're peeing out all the ketones, you're in ketosis, and plus you have all these growing stem cells, and that's how it is when you're healthy. And unfortunately, when you are not healthy, it can throw you into the extreme storm condition, where your heart is going to go into heavy palpitation, and then could bring you to heart attack, and that will happen to me. So, and Jay, I would be very careful. And again, see, and no medical doctor knows about this. I mean, maybe some of them they do. I'm no way medical doctor. And even if you talk to our AI, anything, they say, oh, proceed with caution, or we don't know anything, or you can always consult a physician when you're talking about. And then I joined a number of groups on Facebook. Again, the fasting groups, they don't know anything about how it works for people with autoimmune conditions. And then you go to the thyroid specific groups, they do know something, and but still the thyroid specific groups, they never even talk about about fasting. They talk about intermittent fasting, that it means eating every day and limit your food intake window. But even this, my doctor, the functional doctor, she said, no, even intermittent fasting for you right now out of question. So it means that you don't have to overeat, of course, but you have to always walk around satiety. So satiety is first and foremost thing for you. Just do not starve itself. But her scan showed that mostly I eat like twice a day, and sometimes not enough. But look at me. Look at me, doesn't say. So every time when new person sees me, or the person who hasn't seen me in a while, and the first expression what I see on their face, like, what happened to you? And I start explaining, like, no, it's not because I ate too much and that's why I'm so different. So I have this condition, but now some people say, just stop even paying attention to that, because we see you as you are, your personality, not how you look. And I don't know, that's my crazy head that always drives me nuts, that I always paid attention to my weight, to the looks and everything, how to change this attitude, how to accept, first of all, to accept aging, then to accept new look, and then see, I am without makeup right now in front of you, and so It's all about attitude, and I don't know how to change that because we are aging. We all are aging, and what is the alternative? Like, look, I'm 60, I am 60, and how many people didn't make it even to this um, age? So, gratitude, thank you that I'm still here, and if it's given to me, that's for a reason. I need to think about my life and release that grief that the Soviet Union no longer exists, and that was the huge, huge geopolitical tragedy. And I took it on a personal level. CJ knew it all along when he said, talk about your childhood in the Soviet Union. So, and I abruptly stopped. And I started it, and and I stopped at the very interesting place where I went to my university. Well, because I kind of already showed you all my childhood, saying that it was a happy childhood. I was a happy child. I was developing in multifaceted cultural awareness, and my education was very broad, and lots of sides of my creative personalities was developed when I was child, and the society was investing into that, making sure that all the citizens they grow up into full educated uh, um, curious people, that they could just go beyond the space frontier. They could decide to go somewhere and see how the world works. And now, since the Soviet Union fell apart, and look what we are having, that we have commercialized space, that we don't want to go anywhere except Mars. And the Soviet writers, science fiction, they were saying we are going to the next new world, and everywhere we're just going to uh, go be beyond. We'll do beyond the human comprehension, and we'll always push the limits, and we're always going to do things that would develop the human being. You see, when the Soviet Union and the United States has that scientific competition, how many things got discovered, how many good things came out of that. I'm not saying bad because of the military stuff, but good things. And when the Soviet Union fell apart and the capitalism just wrapped the entire planet, what do capitalists care about? Return on investment. And the scientific projects with very vague perspective that don't have immediate income on investment, the capitalist society or the company, the corporation is not going to pursue because it's not going to be profitable. And the government in the Soviet Union and the government in the United States, when they were competing, saying, to hell with the profits, okay, those Soviets going to get something out of this, then we have to see where it takes us. And lots of interesting things were out of there. And now the humanity is stagnating. Just then they said, okay, and out of stagnation they need to move somewhere, and that's why they're moving into the war areas. Like, okay, since we are not going up there, we are not going anywhere, let's redivide our globe. And again, politics, oh gosh, I think I can stay away from all those topics. I have to be aware of things and say that no one is going to shut down my channel while still exists this one. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, I have Tanya. Hello, Tanya. And it's so nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. And we have 11 people here. That's so cool. And Tanya said, just drop in to say hello. We'll watch the video later. I'm sorry I can stay. God bless everyone. Thank you. We love you too, Tanichka. Don Pepas, he was there, and when you see it when the video is done, watch Don Pepas actually had in the beginning. You can see Don Pepas. You can see your wonderful nephew. I think he is your nephew. and he's 15, and he's good because he is, yeah, I'm at least I'm reporting some videos with Don Pepa's short. And last, what, on Friday I posted the video and said we were lazy. It wasn't even the lesson of the Russian language. It was just, okay, I followed Don Pepa's because I was sitting here and I see that the cupboard is flopping, and I didn't even manage to pick up the phone in time. I come to the refrigerator and he was just, I've been enough in that cupboard, I'm getting out of there. And I said, okay, I'm going just to post you exiting from the cupboard. And it's so interesting, like, what can you record every day out of your cat's life? But it's always something new, or he does something in a different way. And you all have animals, pets, and you know that they are different every day. And even the same thing that do, like climbing that his tree, his condo tree, he does it differently. He always adds some touch, and it's always so interesting that his his favorite mirror, he every day watches, looks in that mirror and saying, I'm so gorgeous. And he's literally standing like this and this, it's my mirror. And now with this roses, he walks around and he makes sure that he watches that into that mirror, and he sees in the projection that rose, and he looks like very, very like a tunnel vision with the roses in the background. It's the cats, they are so interesting. Jane said, I didn't know that Bakai was Tanya. Yes, that's her YouTube nickname. Yes, but it's Tatiana, and we work together, and they moved to the East Coast, and they have a bunch of cats too. They're cat lovers, and they actually moved 4 cats. They were moving from California to the East Coast with 4 cats in their trailer. So some people rent RVs just for the cats to move them. Today also, since it's just talking, right? This morning I woke up early because our HOA had a meeting, emergency meeting, because last year we found out, with all the fires in California, the insurance companies decided to drop the planned developments, planned urban developments, PUDs, like flies, saying we are not insuring you, we are not insuring you, we are not insuring you. And all of a sudden we were without insurance. And of course, being without insurance in the United States is a huge crime. And I, again, with my socialist background, finding that the insurance companies, I'm going to say an awful thing right now, that it's a scam, that is actually saying that, oh, when it's going to happen, oh, it's not going to happen, but you have to pay it nevertheless. And people would argue saying, but when it happens, they're going to pay you. But then we have so many laws that they send the estimators saying that, oh, here it was your fault. We look at this, we are covered with so many clauses that your case is not our case, and you've been paying, and now we are not paying you. And especially with all the fires that took place in California recently, it was very difficult to get insurance, and all of a sudden our 104 units ended up being without insurance because they, well, first of all, they said you have to comply with it, you have to put the fire extinguishers. The association went and bought 54 fire extinguishers, and they mounted those on the walls, and they placed these stupid poles, and they mounted all these extinguishers throughout the property. Then they said that we had to replace the electric boards, and some of us who were unlucky to have those, it cost about $7,000 to replace those things. Lucky for me, I didn't have to do that. But then they said, still, when they complied with everything, they said, no, 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 you're going to be underinsured, and this much is going to be your new policy. And they assessed, and it's 2,500 per household you have to pay. And we kind of voted on that, and I said, okay, fine. So 2,500 I put together. Said still, because I own this place, it's much lower than the rent right now, and it's okay. But this morning we had an emergency meeting, because guess what? The new assessment the insurance made a new assessment, and the next year we will need to pay 2,900 per household, and it's never ending. And finally I said today, it's so easy, and the board is ready to vote yes, let's pay. So we are so gullible. Why you are so gullible? Why it's so easy to impose new financial burden on you, and you taking it even without questioning, or you question, and you said that even if it burns down, how soon they're going to pay you? This is the community. You cannot rebuild it on your own, since you're not going to see that money. You're going to, the association or the builder corporation going to see that money, and you will never know what's going on in the background. So I'm so upset about this one that I'm almost ready to take money and run, and saying that what, I smell unfair game or something. And people are sitting here and saying, oh, probably we need to pay. I don't understand, when did the society become the way it became, that they just taking everything and they believe, okay, we have to pay, and it's okay, that's another, see, that's my grief. That's what she was saying, that when the Soviet Union fell apart and the socialists disappeared from that corner of the world that was counterbalancing and instilling some type of reason into the society. Now there is nothing to counterbalance, and they can do anything they want, and that anything they want is 500%, 500% insurance increase. And that was this morning, 8 o'clock Sunday morning, the last day of fall, to have just to get the vote that potentially the homeowners would agree to pay another assessment, 2,900, and probably is going to become annual. They increased our homeowners dues, and I keep asking, our operational budget, I used to be on the board, I used to be treasurer, saying our operational budget, it's 43,000 a month. What are you doing with that money? And we have all the reserve. So don't get me started. Okay, and I have the question to end the political debate. Jay is saying, yes, positive attitude. I know, Jennifer, it's so cool. Your positive attitude. Yeah, if you can change the situation, change the attitude. This is the only thing that you can do, but then you kind of start loving the humanity sitting inside, and then you get out of the house and you run into the road rage or something, and the love to the humanity goes away. So anyway, I have the question to end the political debate. I didn't know that. Okay, and is there a Russian grocery store? Yes, Linda. They opened the store named is 𝐬𝐃𝐄𝐒. The Russian lady opened it, and I don't go there very often. Only when I need something really Russian, but I'm okay without it. But yeah, that store is very successful. Now students go there, and we always, when we start new class, and we are saying, if you want to try some authentic Russian food, go to that store and you'll find. And sounds like flood insurance in my area. Yeah, Jennifer, but it's funny that the flood insurance, it's a separate thing, because flood insurance, we are not even talking about the flood insurance. And yeah, here actually we are more likely to be flooded than to be burned. However, fire 3 years ago, it came very close and we had to be evacuated. And okay, Jay said, And HOA is like the KGB to me. Well, I don't know. See, you have that feelings toward KGB. I had to deal with a group telling me what, yes, and exactly how to operate your property. Yeah, you see, the property, I used to be a realtor. I had a real estate license, and for a couple of years I was a realtor. So the property, the purpose that the human person, human being is buying property is just for pure enjoyment of your own property. And this is the first and foremost good reason. So pure enjoyment, peace and quiet on your own property. And when we have impositions like that, where is this enjoyment? It's only upsetting stuff. Okay, and it's no, it's not the socialism, not at all, Jay. Socialism never had that. No insurance in socialism, and because the state was giving you the apartments and you were just living there, and it was your place. And I agree with Jay. Couldn't, yeah, I know everyone was telling me just don't buy planned PUD or whatever with the HOA. But now in California, ask Linda, even in Southern California, they build these nice developments very fast, very cheaply made, but they sell those houses at the obscene amount of money. Like the smallest thing goes beyond million. And they have a small HOA dues. This still is the plan. It's a development, and it's not the condominium. It's standalone structure, but they still assess the streets and the space in between homes. They they would have HOA like $200, $300 still. So, and you can do anything about it. I don't know. That's where it's all going to. Okay, and that cars and half. I don't know. I haven't tried that. But they do see if you have the non-operational vehicle in the parking spot, you need to ask permission or do something about that car. Okay, that was my spiel. You see, very emotional. Now you see why my grief, why the grief is number one emotion that comes on that scanner when the functional doctor is saying this. And okay, now I don't have watch. What is it? Oh, it's 12:59. We've been an hour already. So what else do you want to talk about? Don Pepa's health. I don't know. It's so interesting. Those of you who follow Sasha and Masha and Puma Macy, you know that they have their friends who opened the hospice for big cats, for the tigers, and the tiger house, and they used to be in Novosibirsk in Siberia, and then they found a piece of forest and land, and they moved to St. Petersburg area, and they have built very nice structure. It's the hospice for large cats, and the owners and the founders of that place they are Sasha's friends, Mr. and Mrs. Kim, Dmitry and Yana. And Dima, he is from the dynasty of circus performers, and that's what they were. They were circus artists, and Yana, she was a veterinarian, working in the circus, helping those animals who actually do performances in the circus. But seeing how the aged animals, they had a place where to go to retire, and that's how they came up with an idea that it would be nice to have the final place for those big cats who were shining in the circus stage arena, and at the end they need nice retirement home. And they had their own saved, rescued tigers. So now it's rather big place. They have about 22 tigers, and now they had even help in some bears came. They're going to keep them for maybe winter period, and then they're going to send them to some zoo in Europe, and they have people know about them, and they bring in damaged animals or injured animals. They brought half dead fox to them, and they saved that fox, and they did lots of surgeries, and they have operation room now they built on the territory. So anyway, Yana, she is a veterinarian, and they have their streams every Saturdays. And I do watch sometimes and replace the streams. They showing the tigers, they talking about the news of their hospice, because it's very interesting how they've developed over the years. And also, since she's veterinarian, people in the chat, they ask questions about their pets. And one woman is just asking, writing a question saying, hey, I have a cat who is rather old, and that cat is doing weird things. She stands in the middle of the room, in the center of the room, and she starts meowing, like very, very like vocal from somewhere, from the depths of her soul, the voice is coming. And Yana is saying that's dementia, that's feline dementia. And without even thinking, she's saying that's the first symptom. And I kept asking all the vets about the same symptom that Don Pepas has, and the different sleeping patterns and everything. And I think that Don Pepas has this dementia too. I went to my AI and I said, hey, how come I kept asking you about this thing that Don Pepas is different behavior, that his sleeping pattern is different, and that he yells and so loudly. And he said, oh, but you didn't say that you didn't mention that he had dementia. I said, well, I asked you to check what that could be, because no doctor could tell me. And he said, yeah, feline dementia is such thing that exists, and most likely what Don Pepas has. So it's the saying that I am so great with self-diagnostics tools. I could just, I don't know. Now everything makes sense, and that Don Pepas changed. He is a changed personality. He is more affectionate, but he affectionate at the very strange point that he is very, very affectionate, and he can bite you with all this seriousness. And then also he meows, and you never know whether he is going to sleep, whether he is going to let me sleep or not. And then this loud meowing from downstairs, finding the most place which has this echoing ability, and he is meowing. And now I'm thinking, like, okay, if he is demented and if he has dementia, and I'm asking next question, like, how does it affect longevity? And he said, oh no, normally it slows them down eventually, but nothing can be changed, and you just make sure that the cat is comfortable. And I told to my co-worker saying, he's now nothing can be done, I just make his life more comfortable. How else more comfortable? Don Peppers is already having the best life the cat can have. So yeah, that is our latest diagnosis, and at least it explains something. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I can say that, okay, maybe you have this. And what flowers are associated with the Russian culture? Yeah, really depends for the occasion. What occasion? I don't think it depends on person, what you like. I don't know. I love roses, but my tulips are the most wonderful flowers. I love tulips, but now I don't like anything in the vase, because it's a mess. They're nice, and then you have to throw it away, and I stopped liking flowers. Actually, even my house plants, I'm thinking maybe I should kill them all, because it takes energy to water them. It takes energy to take care of them. So yeah, I think flowers, it's international flower language, and same thing is here. The only thing is the way how you gift those flowers, because the odd number of flowers is very appropriate. The even number of flowers is for funerals only. So the dozen roses wouldn't work in Russia. And because flowers in Russia were very expensive because of the seasons and winter is much longer, they were counting by a stem. So one stem is very stylish. Two you can do. Three, the next thing. Five is most common bouquet. If you're going to buy 5-stem roses bouquet, that's very nice. Then 7, 9, 11, etc. When you turn like 50 roses is okay. But if 6, no. 8, no, because that's your take to the cemetery and any type of thing. So that's why, yes, it's for the occasion, and the count is very, very important. And so I think we had 9 people. They stayed all the way to the end. Again, my channel, 1,000 subscribers, still growing. I think that I'll invest a little bit more money into it, just because it turns out that the videos are interesting and people are watching once they join the channel. So the views went up, and something shows me that the content that I had, it's not being created in vain. So I may just invest a little bit more money into it, promoting videos. But new videos, most likely not. I'll be streaming once in a while on this channel, but if I decide to come up with a new channel when I have more energy, you will be first ones to know. But meanwhile, we're going to be sending you updates, Pepa's shorts. Please watch, don't forget us. Please comment, like our videos, and we send our love to all of you. And let me take you to Don Pepas. He is sleeping there in the sunshine. His favorite corner over there. Pepulicka, Pepaska, Pepa. Okay, look at him. That's his favorite place during summertime because he follows the sun. He's following the sun. Well, and thank you so much for being here with me. And it's so lovely. First of all, it's the holiday season, and I'm wishing you the most wonderful, wonderful holiday season. And those of you who had Thanksgiving, and I hope that you had very nice and peaceful Thanksgiving. And I love you all. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you sometimes eventually.